Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, introduce yourself in the comments. I am Rebecca. I'm a clinically certified trauma therapist, and on this channel we talk about everything mental health, things that are specific to trauma survivors or those in their journey from healing from trauma. So today we're going to dive straight into a topic that talks about directly how we can impact our happiness levels, and it's all about how we understand and interpret the world around us. I'm going to address 5 big thinking patterns that create a lot of unhappiness, especially for trauma survivors. So if this is something you're interested in, don't forget to like and subscribe below, and let's go dive straight in. Okay, so before we dive straight into the negative habits, there's just one thing that I want to be clear about in this video, and it's to make it clear that life is not all about being constantly happy and positive. If that's what you're anticipating or aiming towards, you're going to set yourself up for disappointment and frustration. Life includes like a whole range of emotions and experiences, and all of that is completely normal. So we're not advocating that we can or should be happy 24/7. These are just about highlighting habits that may make that more difficult to generally feel a little bit more on an even keel or optimistic or happy. But life does involve a whole mixture of emotions. So I just want to make that disclaimer that that's not what these tips are about. You're supposed to experience a whole variety of things in life, and happiness is one of them. So the first thing we're going to dive straight into is the first belief that can make us really unhappy is thinking that life should always be easy all the time, no matter what. When we subtly start believing that any sign of struggle means that something is going wrong, we kind of resist reality instead of just accepting things the way that they are. Now, caveat, if I'm saying accepting, I'm not saying that you have to settle for whatever that thing is, but acceptance in and of itself just means to stop resisting things and stop creating struggle for ourselves. So it's crucial to understand that in life, sometimes things aren't always super easy, and acknowledging that fact can actually enhance our happiness, so that whenever we do experience a struggle, we don't automatically assume that everything in life is going wrong. It might just be the experience you're having at the moment, and it doesn't mean that things are going wrong. The second habit that can lead to unhappiness is insisting that others see things how we see them. That striving for agreement between us and someone else can actually cause you more frustration and unhappiness if that's what you're always subconsciously trying to achieve, is to get the other person to agree or see things exactly how you see them. Instead, let's actually just focus on sharing the perspective and letting other people have their own thoughts without us feeling threatened or demeaned, or that it means something personal, like an attack against us if they don't see things the same way. Actually, sharing experiences that vary can actually really enhance how we might see something later, even if we don't see it at the time. Someone else's perspective that's different might actually be a gem that you maybe even could offer to someone else, even if you don't personally apply it to yourself. So don't always be striving to have things identical in conversation all the time. Allow there to be differences and let other people have their own thoughts. Moving on to the third habit, that habit is focusing too much on what's going wrong within the world, or even just your unique world personally. While it is important to acknowledge that there's issues and there's things that we can strive for change, it's equally vital to notice the good things that are happening around us, remembering that that balance is key. If we're over focusing on the things that needs to change, the things that are wrong or have a negative impact, and we completely ignore the things that might be going okay, maybe even good, or some things that might even be great, we're going to have that negative bias, and that will increase rumination, increase the low mood, and sort of that disaster thinking that is so easy to wipe out a happy mood if we get stuck in that mode. So the fourth habit that directly impacts your happiness levels is frequent complaining about other people. This kind of gossiping may feel good momentarily, but often it just kind of leaves us feeling icky afterwards, or kind of puts us in a strange mood where we're maybe more irritable, more susceptible to noticing things going wrong, kind of like the previous point that I made there. It can be a bit of a snowball. So being mindful, are you gossiping a lot? Even if you're not sharing it with other people, are you gossiping to yourself, maybe critiquing or criticizing somebody in your head after an interaction, or when you come home from work, or after a phone call, or even just innocent bystanders, noticing how often do I do that? And you might be surprised how often that you are doing it without your awareness. So as soon as that comes into your awareness a little bit more, you might be surprised even something as seemingly simple as that can make quite a big impact on how happy you feel day to day. And the last habit that definitely impacts our happiness and health is never letting ourselves feel good about ourselves. It's time that we take a break from this habit of self criticism all the time and allow ourselves to maybe even feel proud. And if feeling proud feels like too big a jump from where you are, maybe just feeling okay with something that we've done, or okay with what we're wearing, or whatever it may be, actually celebrating or just being okay, noticing all the tiny little shifts or improvements that we're making, however big or small, every single one deserves to be celebrated and acknowledged. And even if you forget all the other ones and you just focused on this one, literally just day to day acknowledging, I did an okay job there, or I really tried my best and I got a better result doing it this way. Whatever it may be, any small little incremental change that you can take notice of and actually praise yourself for, give yourself some credit, will drastically improve your mood. So, those are the 5 habits that we need to be mindful of when we're working towards changing, feeling happier generally. Remember, every shift counts, every step in the right direction, however small, should be celebrated and does make an impact on our mental health. So, those are the 5 habits that we could be mindful of, and you can try working a little bit on all 5, or even just picking one from this video and running with it for a week, maybe even 2. Just focus on one. And when you become more aware of maybe how often you're doing that thing and make small, simple efforts to reduce them slightly, I want you to let me know in the comments how big of an improvement you notice. This is something that clients tell me time and time again, these 5 things. Working on them just subtly, slowly over time, one at a time, can make a really big difference in your overall mood and how you feel day to day. So thanks for watching this video. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe for more content just like this, and I'll see you in the next video.